Welcome back to this channel where we provide premium legal content. Today in this video, we want to look at four major things. Number one, we want to look at what is the state of emergency, when can a state of emergency be declared, who can actually declare a state of emergency, and in what circumstance can a state of emergency be declared. Well, it is only when you stick around in this video that you get to understand all of this. So just stick around, we'll briefly look at them. Now let's look at the first one. What is the state of emergency? There is no clear-cut definition of what a state of emergency is. However, by virtue of section 45 sub 3, it gives us a glimpse as to what a state of emergency is. It says that when there is a proclamation by the president as to a particular state of events in the Federation, as provided in section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, then we can say that a situation of a state of emergency has occurred. But generally, it would imply a situation where certain provisions of the Constitution, certain provisions of our laws are suspended or derogated from to allow the government to deal with a particular circumstance or a particular issue. So take, for instance, when there's COVID-19 or when we had COVID-19 or maybe Ebola or there's an outbreak of disease, the president, well, now you know who can declare a state of emergency. The president is empowered for the sake of public safety and other, declare a state of emergency. And in such circumstances, there will be restriction of movement, there will be, abrogation of certain provisions of the law that has to do with fundamental rights so that that particular situation can be dealt with. Now, let's look at what are now the circumstances that would warrant the president or empower the president to declare a state of emergency. Well, by virtue of section 305 sub 3, it provides the circumstances. It says that 305 sub 3 A, B, C, D, E, F, G gives us a clear, situation, circumstances that will warrant the declaration of a state of emergency. Number one, it says that when there is a state of war, when the Federation is in a state of war, obviously and clearly, President is empowered to declare a state of emergency. Section 305 sub 3B provides that when there's an imminent threat or danger of a state of war, that can actually warrant the president to declare a state of emergency. Section 305 sub 3B, C, D provides that when there's an imminent threat, or when there's an actual breakdown of law and order, that could be a ground for declaration of a state of emergency. When there's a threat to an imminent breakdown of law and order, that's also a ground. When there's a natural disaster, a natural calamity, that is also a ground for declaration of a state of emergency. Any situation that will require extraordinary measures to bring peace, extraordinary measures to bring, law and order within a particular location within the Federation or throughout the Federation, that could be a ground warranting the declaration of a state of emergency or any other event or occurrence, that would clearly threaten or that clearly threatens the corporate existence of the Federation. That could be a ground for the declaration of a state of emergency in Nigeria.